Hello, I am Sophie welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a writing experiment, I guess. I am, in the midst of the summer writer's retreat. Very fun. And that also means I'm in the midst of rewriting Project What? Draft 4. I'm in Act 1 right now. I just finished Chapter 3, but that's neither here nor there. And this is what we will be working on today in this experiment. The experiment will go on for 2 more days, hopefully, if I can do everything I want in the next 2 days. But we're gonna start today, and I wanted to test in this video the most effective sprint method for me. I have 3 different sprint types I want to test in this video, and I have my hypothesis as well. Important step in experiments. We all went to school, kind of, probably. I don't want to assume. 1 is going to be my sprint challenge. I call it my sprint challenge because I just do it so much. It's just a quick and effective way to get words out. I found if you want to see the whole video about this sprint challenge, I will link it up here. But essentially it is just increasing the sprint time from 5 minutes up to whenever you lose, and you lose by not getting more words in the second sprint than the first sprint. So I go 5, 8, 10, 15, 20, 25 typically, and that's when I tap out. But to keep going, you have to get more words in the 8 minutes than the 5 minutes, in the 10 minutes than the 8 minutes. You get it. So that is the first method I want to try. The second is Pomodoro. I'm sure you guys know what Pomodoro sprints are. Pomodoro timers. I don't think they're called sprints. But that is going to be 25 minutes of writing, 5-minute break, 25 minutes of writing, 5-minute break, until I get a sufficient amount of work done, I guess. And then the last one is going to be a random number generator. That is how I do the live streams that I do on YouTube. It's literally just the random number generator on Google, and whatever number it gives me is the sprint time. So that is the third one I want to use. For this, I want to keep everything to a similar amount of time worked. I don't know how long I will set the parameters, but I think I'll do like 2 hours worth of work. So that would be 4 Pomodoros, and I think that can do the entire sprint challenge up to 25 minutes. And then the random number will just have to fit somewhere in 2 hours. But that is the 3 we're going to test. We're going to give 2 hours for each, and I'm going to see how much work I can get done, how it feels, everything. My hypothesis here is that the sprint challenge will be the best one. I feel like it's just easier because it warms you up and lets you get into the writing without just like throwing you into a giant sprint. And it makes it a little easier to like just get moving, get going. So I think that's gonna be my most productive one of the 3, but we just have to find out. That's what we're doing. Today, we're going to do the sprint challenge. The words are gonna be a little wonky because while I'm rewriting this, there's gonna be a lot of copying and pasting of scenes that I'm just gonna be like tweaking and not fully rewriting. So we can't go completely off of the word counts because that can be a little different for each, but we're really gonna go off the qualitative data in this one, I think. I will still have total word counts and everything, but they're gonna be weird because of the copying and pasting. Let's start with the sprint challenge today. I'm excited because I have not written all day today and it's already midnight. So let's try to get some good stuff in. Okay, I am in my mom's office because I'm at my parents' house for the next couple weeks. So don't mind the weird setting. It's just gonna be like that, all right? We got the timer, very cute. I actually need to see how long a regular sprint challenge is. That's scary. Let's do this. 5 minutes. That's what we're starting with. All right, I moved it down here on the actual laptop screen, so you guys can see it, at least for the first sprint here. But okay, let's go. Let's do it. Actually, I just realized I have no idea where I am in the outline. Let's do that first. It's nice if you like actually prepare. Ooh, okay. We've got a fun scene coming up. This one is pretty much going to be all new words except for some backstory that I'm adding into this scene. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, cool. That is going to be our scene for probably this entire challenge. All right, now let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Oh, okay, done. All right, this is everything. 149 words. Very nice. For 5 minutes, 149 words. Cool. Cool. We're going all the way to 30 unless I fail and I don't get more words. That's the challenge part. But that's not very hard to beat. So if I tap out now, that's gonna be really embarrassing. Okay, we're back. Hello. I ended up getting to 20 minutes before I ended up losing. This was definitely slow because, one, I was already tired going into this and like not really in the writing headspace, and typically I use the sprint challenge to sort of get me in the writing headspace, but I'm sleepy. And 2, this is a new scene technically, so I feel like I started out fairly strong because I was just rewriting some backstory stuff I had already written before, but then these last few sprints it was a little rough because I was trying to write new content and I wanted that content to be on the same level or close to the same level of quality as the rest of the book will be, since it is all like rewritten from like 3 different pass-throughs. Like it's got to be at least decent. So it was going a little slower as I tried to pick the right words, and then by the 20-minute mark I was struggling to try and finish a scene, and I did end up finishing the scene right before the end of the 20 minutes, but I did end up losing there. His word counts are also fairly small on account of those 2 reasons that I just stated. I remember when I did this for Project Glass, I got like 800 words in like 20 minutes, which was not going to happen in this one. The most I got was at 15 minutes with 427 words, which was nice, but let's see, this was 58 minutes of work, so I guess I'll do an hour total, or about an hour total of work for the other 2 methods I want to try, just to keep it consistent. Or I might try doing the sprint challenge again when it's not midnight when I start and I'm not tired when I start, or you know, less tired when I start. I got 1,432 words in this method, with this method. That is the first one. I really like this method. There's a reason why I go back to it whenever I just need a good amount of words. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it's a nice way to like get a lot of words in without feeling like you're putting a lot of time into it, I guess. Like this, like 5, 8, 10, 15, 20, like that doesn't feel like it adds up to an hour of work, but it does. But it does, and that's very nice. You kind of like trick your brain there. So even though it took me 2.5 hours to do the work, because I kept taking breaks, it feels like I took way more breaks than I actually did, because this doesn't feel like an hour of that 2.5 hours was used for writing. It honestly feels like I used half an hour to write. So you can get a lot done. You can get a lot done. And to get 1,400 words in an hour like this is crazy, because typically like 1,000 words in an hour is like really good for me. And I found that only using the sprint challenge am I able to get over 1,000 words, not in a consecutive hour, I guess, but in an hour. I can get a crazy amount of words. So like even though I took a ton of breaks, I still got over 1,000 words in a little under an hour of work, which is nice to look at and be like, wow, maybe I can kind of write fast if I break it up into little sections. But that is it for this method. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next one. It'll be daylight out, hopefully, when I film that one, and hopefully I won't stay up until 2:40 in the morning. That was a bad idea. That was a terrible idea. Good night. Hello, it is day 2. Whoa, fingers blue. That's epic. Anyways, it is day 2 of the experiments. I am in my car at the coffee shop in which we will be doing this set of sprints. It's a little Vietnamese coffee and tea shop, and it's really good. And the inside, like, the shop is like really cute. So I like coming here to write. Tables aren't very big though, so like not a great place for studying. So anytime I'm just writing and I know I don't need to study and work on schoolwork, this is the place I like to come to. Today we will be attempting the pomodoro technique. We're gonna do 2 pomodoros, 25 minutes, 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 5-minute break, because that'll give me the same amount of time worked pretty much as the sprint challenge I did yesterday. So we're gonna be here for about an hour. I'm gonna get a drink. I'm starting a new scene. I finished the scene I was working on in the sprint challenge during the sprint challenge, so that was nice. But now we're gonna be working on a new scene, and I think the pomodoro will be perfect for this, because this scene is one that I'm completely copying and pasting from draft 3, and I just have to reread it, rewrite some lines, make sure it fits what we know about these characters at this point, especially in this scene. There's a lot that hasn't been revealed that was once already revealed. Making sure I actually share the information that we used to already know in this scene is going to be important. But I'm excited. This is for my male main character. There's 3 main characters. 2 of them are girls, 1 of them is boy. And the boy, the male main character, has always given me the least amount of trouble in terms of character. As in, like, when I was reworking this act 1, he was the one I didn't have to do a complete overhaul on, because I've always had his character very set from, like, literally from the first draft I wrote of this. His has not needed to be changed because it's already had a through line, at least through Act 1, and then as I was writing, I was able to push it through the rest of the book, which was very nice. But I love his scenes, especially these ones that are really big on his, like, personal goal, because there's an overall goal of the book, but each main character has their own personal goal that, like, guides them towards the ultimate goal of the book. Whenever I get to write about this character's personal goal, it's so much fun. He's so dramatic. He's just like a D1 yearner. He's like, his whole motivation, his personal motivation, is to find this guy that he grew up with that he has a massive crush on. Okay? That is his goal. And it's just so much fun to write, and that is what we're going to be doing in these next 2 sprints. I don't know if I'll finish it. From what I remember, it's a pretty short scene in the book already, so there's not going to be much material to go through. I also don't know what's next in the outline after that, but I have it on me, so we will figure that out. Anyways, we're going to go inside, we're going to get something to drink, and we're going to do these 2 pomodoros. Let's do this. Let's do this. Hello, we are back. I did 2 pomodoro sprints, and I ended up finishing that one scene that I was talking about, which is nice. That was like 1,000 words. My total, my paper that I'm writing everything down on, from the 225 minutes was 1,199 words. So 1,200 words for 50 minutes. Very nice, very nice. I got like 900 words in the first sprint because I had copy and pasted the scene during that. Obviously, I needed to add it to the doc so I could work on it. So that was probably like 800 something words plus whatever editing I was able to do during the sprint. The last like 200 words that I got were in the 25 minutes of the other sprint because I was just trying to figure out how to reword some stuff. It was really weird, like how I had written it already, and I was like, I want to keep all this information, but I don't know how to make it not sound like this, because it doesn't sound good. So that took a little while to try and fix, and also the overall size of the scene wasn't going to be changing very much, so I wasn't expecting the word count after the first sprint to change very much, and I'm kind of glad it didn't, because I already feel like I'm overwriting so much right now. Hopefully I'm not, but like we're already at 16,000 words and we're about to wrap up chapter 4. Like I don't know if I'm gonna put another scene in chapter 4. I'll have to check the outline to see what's left here, but it's 16,000 words already. There's supposed to be 10 chapters in Act 1, and I'm expecting this draft to be about 150,000 words. So Act 1 shouldn't be very big. Act 2 should be the biggest act, but even just like from this projection, it's going to be like 40,000 words. Act 1 is going to be 40,000 words. That's insane. I don't know if like the rest of the book will also blow up to be as big. I mean, that would be nice instead of having out of proportion acts, but I'm scared. I don't want this. I don't want to have to try and fix Act 1 again. This is like the 4th time I'm trying to redo Act 1 to make it make sense. And I don't want to fix it again. Frankly, I don't. Anyways, that is it for this part of the experiment. This was nice. I feel like the 25 minutes is such a nice time to work. Like it's not too short, it's not too long where like it's not too short that like you can't really get into it, but it's not too long where you feel like towards the end you're like, I just want to be done. I just get it over with. And also having those built-in breaks, those 5 minutes, very convenient. Sometimes I do like to just write for like an hour straight, like, you know, that's great when that can happen, but having the breaks built in is a nice feature. It really is. And I think the scene turned out well. We'll figure that out upon rewrites, but all around a good writing session and pretty much on par with what I wrote during the sprint challenge yesterday. I'm gonna go home. I will see you guys tomorrow for the final sprint experiment method I want to try. Yeah, it should be fun. I'll see you guys then. Hello, we are here for day 3, but I am at a coffee shop I don't go to very frequently because it's always busy. So we're going to see if it's busy today. If it is, we will go somewhere else. But I'm hoping, especially because they're going to be closing in 2 hours, that it's not going to be too crazy, and I'll at least find a table to work at. Today, we are testing the random number generator sprints. We're going to do an hour's worth of sprints, and it should be good. Should be good. This is another scene that I'm pretty much just taking from draft 3 and just spicing it up a little. Not that kind of spice. Making it better. We're improving it. Let's just say that. And it's going to be a short scene too, so we will be definitely finishing that scene during this and starting a new chapter, I think, depending on what happens. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a new chapter. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully we get around the 1,000 word mark, maybe like 1,200 words like last time, but we'll see. Let's do this. Alright. Hi guys! Okay, it is so hot in this car right now. Shut up. So I'm gonna make this quick. We'll do conclusions later, but I just finished about, I think it was like a little over 50 minutes. I have to double check the total time, but about 50 minutes of writing with the random number generator. And I got, hold on, I got 1,184 words during this hour. It's pretty much in the range that I was hoping it was gonna be in, and it was pretty good. And also the coffee shop was not busy. Thank God. I've always wanted to sit in there and write because it seems like such a perfect writing location, and I never can because there's never tables available. There were many a table available today, which was amazing. But anyways, I'm gonna head home now. I still have a little bit of matcha I can drink, which is fun. See how long I haven't drank it in. There's powder at the bottom. It's fine. Yes, we will talk later with conclusions and everything, but I feel awkward talking to myself in this very full parking lot, so we're gonna go. I'm back in my mom's office. Don't worry about it. This is where we're sitting for the next like 2 weeks. And this is the end of this little experiment. I had a lot of fun. I had quite a bit of fun running around every day, going to different coffee shops and stuff, testing these out. Very interesting, very interesting. I have like real data here on my laptop. I'm gonna be looking over here quite a bit, which was really cool to see. Getting actual quantitative data out of this, very cool. Short conclusion, my hypothesis at the beginning of this video was correct. I was correct. I do know how I write the quickest, and that is with my sprint challenge, in quotation marks. And this is both quantitatively and qualitatively that I say this. For the numbers, I have broken everything down into words per minute. I did 58 minutes for the sprint challenge, 50 for the pomodoro, and 49 for the random number generator. So, for the sprint challenge, I got 24.7 words per minute. For pomodoro, I got 23.9 words per minute. And for the random number generator, it was 24.2 words per minute. Fairly consistent throughout all three, which is nice to see, can't lie. By a very small margin, the sprint challenge did come up on top, which love. Love that the method I came up for myself works the best. Just amazing. But that being said, I think there are some other factors to be considered here. I didn't really keep consistent in this experiment. Obviously, this is not life or death. I am not in the lab at school, but these should still be mentioned because they were not held consistent during this experiment. One, and maybe a big one, I could do another experiment about that too, but music. Each method, I was listening to something different. During the sprint challenge, I was listening to nothing. For the pomodoro, I was listening to my music, just on my phone while I was out. And then for the random number generator, which I did today, I forgot my headphones at home. So I just ended up listening to the sounds of the coffee shop I was in, essentially. 3 different things there. I don't know if that affected anything, but if it did, oops. Second was the degree of drafting that I was doing during each method. Based on the numbers that I got, it clearly didn't sway the values too much, but there were certain methods I was using where I was pretty much copying and pasting a whole scene, and that's where I got my numbers, and then I just ended up tweaking a little bit so like the total word count would go up slightly. And then there were other sprints I was doing where I was completely drafting, and there was no copying and pasting from draft 3, it was straight up new words. So once again, didn't really change the numbers very much, but maybe that's something that needs to be compared. Maybe I do a video like this again when I'm strictly drafting, like a new project or something that needs to be completely rewritten. And then the last one that I don't really know if I should consider it too much, because I don't know how much it actually changes my productivity, but location. Clearly, I was at different locations for each of these. More importantly, I was home for one, and then I was out of the house at coffee shops for the other two. I don't know if that changed my productivity, if I am more productive at home, just sitting at my desk, or in this case, my mom's desk. But if you do want to see an experiment like that, where like maybe I'm working from here, I work at a coffee shop, I work at the library, stuff like that, please let me know. I'd love to do more little experiments like this. And I'd love to find out, because it's been a very long time since I've written in a library. Usually when I go to a library, it's to do schoolwork, it's to study. Actually, the last thing I wrote in a library was the ending of Project Glass, because I was still in school. I'd love to test that out too, because I put out a poll today, doing a little more research, I guess, asking where people work best. Don't look at the baby. Library so far, it's been 12 hours, and library so far is winning by a small margin. So I'd love to go to a library, not to study, but to actually draft and test this out. Anyways, final conclusions. The sprint challenge overall is my favorite. It is such a nice way to get unstuck in writing. That's typically when I use it, is when I'm stuck in a scene and I don't know how I'm gonna get myself out of it. I think just that initial 5-minute sprint really like starts you up, and you're like, oh god, I have 5 minutes to figure this out and like get words on the page. So it like really ups the stakes and you can actually like get moving. And then by the time you are unstuck, the sprint times get long enough to where you can actually draft and not have to stop like mid-sentence. Overall, just in general, and I guess additionally, especially when you're stuck, sprint challenge is my favorite. But the other two are great as well. I would say the pomodoro is great for when I just need structure, when I don't want changing times, when I just want consistent 25 minutes of working over and over and over and over. I don't know if that one is great for drafting so much, but I think I will be using that when I am revising. Like, once I'm done with Act 1 of Project What, and I need to read the rest of the book, I'll probably be using quite a bit of pomodoro. And then random number generator sprints, I think, are the best when I'm just working, as in like not really striving toward a specific goal. I just want to get words down. Like, instead of being like, oh, I want to get 3,000 words, I think I would probably use the sprint challenge for that. But if I'm like, oh, I just want to write, just let me write, the random number generator sprints are very fun. And, you know, it just like kind of keeps you on your toes. You don't know how long you're going to be writing next. Like, you could get like a 20-minute sprint for one, and then you come back and it's like 6 minutes long, and then you got 13. You're jumping all over the place. You gotta be ready for anything. It's a lot of fun, but that inconsistency is kind of hard to use when you do have a goal you're trying to get to, because it's like, okay, if I want to write these 1,000 words right now, I'm not gonna do it in 10 5-minute sessions, you know? Like, I need something bigger. But without a super concrete goal like that, love it. Those are my takes on all three. I swear, if you guys have not tried the sprint challenge, which I'm pretty sure I already linked up here, but if not, I will now. You guys should totally try it out. It's so great, so fun. It's literally, I did up to a 20-minute sprint. It's an hour of your time. It's an hour of your time, and you can get easily 1,000 words in that time. So if you haven't tried it yet, you totally should. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. What are your favorite sprinting methods, or just like writing methods in general? Do you have any you want me to try and make a video about? Please let me know. Otherwise, I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.